The Epilogue. Samil spread her wings flat and slowly spiraled down into the garden in front of the temple. Talon thought she and Samil must look like the little seed pods from oak trees in the fall. The workmen on the newest part of the temple looked up, but didn't seem to think that a bronze dragon, especially one so young, was no cause for alarm. Clerics on the ground looked up as Samil's shadow fell across them, then scuttled away like ants fleeing a drop of rain. Samil landed lightly, and Talon hopped to the ground. An aged cleric in white robes walked over to them. Talon glanced at him, did a double-take, then bowed deeply. "Who is it?" Samil whispered to Talon. Elliston was all Talon had time to say before the cleric reached them. Samil lowered her head in a bow to the cleric. "I have heard so much of you, reverend son," she said. "And I you, Samil," Elliston said, smiling. "I see you still wear the pendant." Samil peered closely at the man's face. "Did you know what this would do?" "I hoped that it would allow Talon to somehow experience, if only partly, what being a dragon is like," Elliston said, looking up at Samil. "It's hard to hate a thing once you truly know it. Only once you both saw the good in the other, and were willing to sacrifice yourselves to save what you once hated, would you be free." "Is this going to happen again?" Talon asked. Samil jumped. She had not considered that. While she no longer hated Talon, she didn't want the enchantment to come back. "I doubt it. The jewels have served their purpose." Elliston held out his hand. Talon lifted the chain over her head, removed the star jewel, and dropped it into Elliston's hand. Samil ducked her head swiftly, and her necklace fell into his hand as well. Elliston fitted the two halves of the star jewel together. There was a blinding flash of light, and Samil thought, "Oh no, not again!" When the light died away, Samil bit her tongue, and felt relief along with the pain. The star jewel now shone brightly, all tarnished, gone from the silver setting. Elliston held it up so all could see. "There are clerics traveling to the monument of the silver dragon sometime soon," Elliston said, turning the star jewel back and forth so it caught the light. "I think they should take these there. Don't you agree?" The monument did sound like a proper place to Samil. Elliston folded his hands over the jewels and rose. He turned to the temple, but then looked back to them. "You know, I always did like the name Arrows of Huma. I wonder if there might be some way to use it in a way that Huma would truly approve." Talon and Samil looked at each other, considering. "A bronze!" The call rang through the village of Mountain Home during the first light of dawn. Normally the villagers would just be starting to stir. Now, though, the entire village was up and about as though it were midday. All of them looked skyward at the dragon gliding down at the edge of town. A group ran to meet the dragon as its feet touched the ground. They surrounded the dragon and immediately began speaking it all at once. "Where have you been?" Talon asked, putting an arm around Smil's leg and pulling her. "I thought you were going to miss this." "I'm coming. Quit tugging me." Samil began walking with the humans at a leisurely pace that matched the hurried stride of the people. "I was recruiting some dragons. It's hard convincing some of them that humans and elves are worth working with. They don't mind protecting them, but working with them?" Samil shook her head. Elred snickered behind Samil. "I've heard that those bronze dragons in particular are stubborn." "That's the copper dragons, not bronze," Samil huffled, smacking Elred in the head with her tail. "Can't you tell us apart, honestly?" "Enough, you two," Rama said, lifting her nose out of a book, Dragon Psychology. "This is very serious business." "Ah, that's where you are wrong, wizard," Malat said. "This is neither serious nor business in Mountain Home. Look." They all halted on the steep trail and looked down upon the village. The sun now shone fully on the houses, and every threshold and window was decorated with streamers of bright colors. Mountain Home had little gold, as it was generally considered worthless, but the few items in the village had been twined into a large wind chime that hung from the highest fence pole. "They're preparing for the festivities, once they know all is well," Malat said, leading them to the cave under the barn. "Hurry," said one of the guards as they approached. "We may need your help." "That's what the arrows of Huma do," Talon said, stepping lightly into the cave. Malat held a finger to his lips, and they all fell silent. A thin sound like ice breaking shattered the quiet, then another. A hairline crack ran across the surface of a large golden egg. Talon's violet eyes, shining with joy in the light of the fire, met Samil's bronze eyes. They smiled at each other, then watched the first golden dragon to hatch in over 1,000 years emerge from the egg. And that be the end of the Bronze Dragon Codex. Hope you enjoyed. Bye!